Hello, Capricorns, and welcome to this, your May 15th through May 31st reading and predictions. Let's just dive right in. In the last reading that I did for you, there were 4 10s that came out. All 4 10s from the tarot deck came out. So I have a question for you. Please put a comment in down below. What happened on May 10th for you? I'm really, really curious because it is highly, highly unusual in the types of spreads that I do with all of the decks that I use for all 4 10s to come out. So obviously the 10th of May or something about the 10 o'clock hour, be it 10 o'clock in the morning or 10 o'clock in the evening, was super, super important to you guys at the beginning of this month. So please let me know. All right, I'm going to dive right in and start pulling some cards. If you are interested in any of the decks that I am using, I'm going to pop descriptions and links in the description down below. Also, stick around all the way until the end, Capricorn, because I do have a special treat for you. Most of us spend our lives walking through asking, oh, is this a yes or a no? Which way do I go? So at the end of this, I will give you an opportunity to pose your yes no questions, and I will pull some cards for you about your yes no question. All right, let's take a look. Oh, wow. And we've got 10s coming in again. Are you kidding me? This is freaky. This is absolutely freaking me out. Capricorn, seriously. We have the 10 of Cups as well as the 10 of Pentacles coming in for you again to start off your reading. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning of this reading, your last reading covering the time frame May 1st through May 15th, all 4 10s came out. And now you are starting off this reading with 2 10s again, the 2 happy 10s in the deck. Now, some of the 10s in the deck, including the 10 of Wands, indicates burdens. 10 of Swords indicates troubling times. But these 2 10s both have extremely positive outcomes. Look at the pictures on these cards. Both pictures depict young couples who are in love and they have their children surrounding them and they're having little picnics out in a yard and everything is sunshine, rainbows, and exactly the life that these people dreamed of and manifested for themselves. So, very, very good news there. And this is how we're starting off your reading. The other card that we also have in your where you are at now is the 6 of Cups. And the 6 of Cups is the Karma card and the Nostalgia card. 6 of Cups represents what goes around comes around, but it is also a card of nostalgia. It's a card of remembering the past. And there's nothing wrong with remembering the past, providing there is a side to this that can be a caveat, and that is providing that you're not seeing the world through rose-colored glasses and thinking, oh, it's a good idea to phone my ex at 3 o'clock in the morning after I've had a couple of drinks. That is the downside to the 6 of Cups, is remembering the past through rose-colored glasses and thinking, well, maybe it wasn't that bad. Maybe I should just phone up an ex. You know, okay. That's the downside to this card. The upside to this card is remembering the past fondly and looking back at the past and saying, you know, I've had a damn good life. Now let's go forward with these 2 10s and make some more memories and have some good stuff come out. All right, let's have a look at what you are focusing on. And as we know, where we put our attentions, things grow, right? Our thoughts become our reality. So let's get started. Capricorn, what are the Capricorns focusing on? What kind of work do they want to do? What are they focusing on? Where are they putting their attentions? What do they want to achieve? All right, we only have one card that came out for you, and it is the World. The World. Yes, Capricorn. So, with regards to what you are focusing on with the World here, you are focusing on leveling up, closing out an old part of your life, closing out a soul lesson, and leveling up. One of the other ways to look at this particular card is the world is now your oyster. There are opportunities popping up, cropping up left, right, and center. And you are almost at the point, I get the sense right now that you're almost at the point, especially with this Six of Cups and these two tens coming in, of saying, oh my gosh, things are so good. Do I really want to make any changes or level up because things are so good right now? Okay. And the answer is, yeah, you probably do want to make some changes as you are working towards closing out a soul cycle and moving up into the next soul lesson. For those of you who are unfamiliar with soul purposes, soul lessons, and kind of how this game works. If you are interested in having me do kind of a teaching video for you about this concept, please pop a comment in down below and I'd be happy to make a video for you about this leveling up process and about soul lessons and how this works, at least from my perspective and from the teachings that I've received over many years of working in this space. So anyway, the world. From the viewpoint of this particular reading going through May 15th through May 31st, Capricorns, the advice that I can give you is that opportunities are coming your way. I am going to pull cards in just a moment for you with regards to your difficult influences and challenges, but with opportunities, many opportunities is what I'm sensing coming your way. There may be temptations for maybe something that's too good to be true, or there may be a sense of almost overwhelm at all of this that's coming towards you. But remember, this is in your focus, Capricorn. So this is what you have manifested. This is what you have called into your life right now. You have called in the 10 of Cups and a lovely relationship, and the 10 of Pentacles, which is, being in a fairly decent financial position. There's always going to be, let me just say one thing about the 10 of Pentacles. There's always going to be people that have more than you. There's always going to be people that have less than you. And when you have the opportunity to practice gratitude for where you are at in your life, that's when more magic has the opportunity to come in, especially with this World card coming in. So let's dive into your difficult influences and challenges. Because so far, all of the cards that you've had are super, super positive. Let's see if there's anything kind of stepping up or stepping into your way right now. I don't sense that we're going to get a whole bunch of cards popping out here. We've got one that just came out, but I'm not sensing. Oh, that one's on the floor. Have to get that one. I'm not sensing a whole lot coming up for you that's super negative. Okay. All right. So, in your difficult influences and challenges, you have the going with the flow card. This card corresponds to the Ace of Cups. Now, the Ace of Cups is a card typically that signifies a potential new partnership coming online for you, that you should go with the flow, that there's opportunities being presented to you. And that's exactly what your reading has already said. But as I mentioned before this card ever even came out, it there was a sense of almost feeling a little bit overwhelmed with the opportunities that are coming into you right now. And that there was also this potential, it's something maybe too good to be true because I'm not experienced so much positivity coming into my life all at once. And so this card here with the going with the flow in your difficult influences is indicating that you are in fact, because when it's in your difficult influences, it has the opposite meaning. So this is indicating that you are, in fact, almost feeling that overwhelm. And this card is encouraging you back towards going with the flow. You also have the Two of Swords here. Now, the Two of Swords card in this particular deck says schizophrenia on it. And the reason that it says that on there is because what the Two of Swords is actually about here, Capricorn, is needing to make a decision on blind faith. Okay. And oftentimes, when the world appears to us and we already feel like we've got so much good stuff going on, 10 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles, 6 of Cups, we've got all this good stuff going on. We're being encouraged to just go with the flow and not allow ourselves to sink into overwhelm. What can happen is we get decisions presented to us. And because the world represents leveling up and experiencing a new type of soul lesson, we don't have the answers. We can't peek around the corner. So we have to make a decision on blind faith. Oh my goodness. I don't know what the outcome is if I go this way. I don't know what the outcome is if I go that way. What do I do? I can tell you, you go with the flow, tap deeply into intuition, meditation, perhaps some physical type practice so that you have better clarity to make a decision. What this card is saying is that it can be a little bit crazy making when we have to make a decision on blind faith. Reminder, at the end of this video, I am going to be pulling yes, no cards for you. So if you are having to make a difficult decision at this time and you're willing to put your trust and faith in a general reading, stick around all the way till the end. But this card is indicating that some point in time during May 15th through May 31st, there is likely to be something that's going to come up for you that's going to force you to make a decision without you being able to foreshadow, whatever you want to look at it, the outcome. And you're just going to have to make that decision and go with it, Capricorn. All right. Oh, that's interesting. So I had just mentioned, the best way to get in touch with making a decision is not only meditation, but also moving your body. And the message from the universe is understand your body. Understand your body at this time. Okay. Your body, with regards to this Two of Swords and needing to make a decision on blind faith, and that's in your difficult influences. When we understand our bodies, when we tap into our bodies, it's not just about sitting in quiet contemplation and meditation. Sometimes it's about exercising in some way, shape, or form. And that allows our body to say, oh, this feels wrong, or oh, this feels amazing. This feels right. And so, even sometimes you probably heard people who do muscle testing and various other things in order to make decisions. And I really sense and feel here, Capricorn, that what this card is telling you is that if you listen to the sensations in your body, it's going to lessen the burden of this Two of Swords and needing to make this decision on blind faith. Let's dive into your unexpected and see what's coming up for you that is unexpected. Unexpected. King of Wands. That's the second time that card's jumped out on me today. It jumped out while I was setting up as well, which is kind of interesting. All right. Hmm. Okay, so the King of Wands was the first card to jump out. And then we have the Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands is a super, super positive card. Let me see. We have the Empress. Not surprised to see the Empress coming out. And we have the Judgment card coming out, which in this particular deck is called Karma. So let's start with the King of Wands. King of Wands, of course, is the king of fire. He is ruled by the element of fire, and he is about the king of taking action, which is telling me that in order for you to achieve this world card here and really step up and step into this 10 of Cups and 10 of Pentacles, which are being presented to you, you're going to have to make a decision. And once you make that decision on blind faith with that Two of Swords, you're going to have to take some kind of action. Now, the King of Wands can also, as with all kings, he can represent some kind of advice coming into you. He may represent um, a mentor coming in. But if there is advice that you receive, Capricorn, between May 15th and May 31st, the with the King of Wands here, it's advice that you need to take action on. It's advice that you can't just go, okay, thanks for the advice, and then turn around and saunter off and go back to the way your life was. This is about leveling up. The world is about leveling up. The King of Wands is about leveling up. You have the Nine of Wands here. The Nine of Wands is about feeling like you have been successful in battle and that something turned out with a win-win situation. So watch for that. And I sense that this Nine of Wands is relating back to the Two of Swords, relating back to the decision that you need to make. And because even the way that the layout is of this particular spread that I'm doing for you, the Nine of Wands is landing almost directly on top of the Two of Swords, indicating that whichever decision you make, no matter which way you go, it's a win-win situation. It's a positive outcome either way. It's just a question of, especially with this world card here, that no matter which way or which direction and decision you make, both have good outcomes, but they will affect the way that your life moves forward. Okay. It's one of those things where sometimes people believe that there are alternate realities. And, oh, if I had married this person, my life would have looked like this. But instead, I married this person and my life looks like this. So, either way, there could have been a positive outcome there, but there was two different alternate realities based on this decision, both of which have the positive outcome with this Nine of Wands. The next card that you have is the Empress. The Empress is all about birthing out a new idea into the world. And I do believe that you're on the verge of getting something new out into the world. I want a new idea for Capricorn. What's coming up? Yeah, Capricorn, there's a shift happening in your life right now. And what I'm sensing is that it may be affecting where you are going to live, your geographical location. You might be considering a move from one apartment or to a house. I do sense that there is a shift to a new location or a new locale for you. And that's part of what this Empress is bringing in for you. And then you have the Judgment card, and this card in this particular deck is called Karma. And I do want to say we had another card that I also like to call a karma card, which was the Six of Cups here. And now you have this card saying karma. But what this card is really all about is us, before we can achieve the world, which is the 21st card of the major arcana. You'll notice here that there's a 21 just above my finger. When we work with the tarot, we start at 0, which is the Fool, and we work our way up to the World, which is the 22nd card, which is about leveling up and moving into the next soul lesson. This card has the number 20 on it, which is, it corresponds to the Judgment card. It is about karma, but it is about us sitting in judgment of ourselves and of saying, this worked for me, that didn't work for me. I'm rejecting that. And when I go forward in my life, I am not going to repeat the same mistakes twice. That's what this card is about. And that's coming up in your unexpected is something is going to present itself to you where you're going to have the opportunity to sit in judgment of you, Capricorn. It may be even the advice that's coming in from this King of Wands. There may be some kind of advice coming in for you that allows you to sit back and go, yeah, right, that worked and that didn't work, and what do I do going forward? Okay, so it's kind of that self-assessment. It is called the Judgment card, but it's also a self-assessment. It's almost like doing a mini life review of this worked for me and that didn't work for me. All right, let's dive into your general overall outcome, Capricorn. We had 2 cards fly out. See if there's anything else. Yep, there's another one now in my lap. What else? And that one over there. If too many more cards, yeah. Okay, we're getting a whole bunch of cards here. So what I'm going to do is collect up all of these cards that have flipped out, and then we'll do a little reshuffle there. All right. That's a lot of cards that came out for you here, Capricorn, on your general overall outcome. Let's collect them all up. Oh my goodness. And there's one more down here on the floor. Okay. Okay, Capricorn. All right, we do have 3 cards out. Is there anything else? Anything else for Capricorn? Anything else? Anything else? Yeah, there's one more. Okay. All right. In your general overall outcome, Capricorn, we have 4 cards. We have the Four of Wands. Four of Wands is an extremely positive card. It's about, yeah, your life is coming together and things are good. In fact, I'll just read it for you. It's an extremely positive card indicating that your efforts to establish a project, business, or other endeavor are successful. So, whatever it is that you're working on right now, Capricorn, this is a pretty positive card to have come out. You do have the Five of Swords coming out. Now, the Five of Swords is indicating that there's some kind of double-edged nature to the outcome that you're experiencing, or you perceive that there's a double-edged nature. Again, we have the Two of Swords here needing to make a decision on blind faith. And then the Five of Swords is, it's about you needing to adjust your expectations. It's not necessarily a really negative card. It's about, if I do this, this is the outcome. If I do that, that is the outcome. Which way do I want? Um, some people some people can interpret this card as the lesser of two evils, or needing to make a choice that's the lesser of two evils. But I prefer to look at this card, at least in the context of your current reading, Capricorn, as you have a choice to make with the Two of Swords coming in here. And then you have the Nine of Wands right on top of that. You've got the Four of Wands in your outcome. It doesn't matter which way you make the choice, but that's what's making this a double-edged sword for you, is that there is no clear vision to the outcome. But everything is indicating that it doesn't matter which choice you make, both of them have positive outcomes. You have the King of Pentacles here as well. This is your second king in your reading. Now, the King of Pentacles is the richest king in the deck. Watch for somebody coming in who is likely to be giving you some financial advice in the very near future. And then you have the Page of Cups. Now, the Page of Cups is kind of a flighty character. He may indicate a fling for those of you who are single. And remember what I said way back at the beginning of this reading? I mentioned something about be careful when you're making decisions, when something comes up. You may be being presented with things that appear too good to be true. And this card can indicate that some opportunity that is being presented to you may appear as though it's too good to be true. And if you go that direction, it's not that there's going to be a bad outcome. There's nothing here indicating a truly negative outcome, but it may be a fleeting outcome. It may almost feel like a fling. And then, so what I'm saying is, with this Two of Swords, you're going to make a decision, left hand or right hand, devil on one shoulder, angel on the other shoulder. The cards are indicating that either way, you're going to have a positive outcome, which is wonderful. But what this Page of Cups is indicating is that one of the decisions that you're going to make, the decision may result in a fleeting result or a short-lived result, which is still going to have a positive impact on your life based on the cards, but you might find yourself back in this position or situation of having to make another blind faith decision in another month or two. So just watch for that. All right, if this video resonated for you, Capricorn, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It really does help me to grow the channel. The channel is still relatively small at this time. I'm hoping to get it growing. But as well, I'm not monetized on here yet. I love putting these readings out, but it would also help the channel to grow if I can get monetized, because then I'll come up a little bit in the suggestions. So your help and your subscription really does help. All right. Bring to mind your yes/no question, Capricorn. And we're just going to shuffle the decks until we get one card jumping out. We do have a card that has just jumped out for you in response to your yes/no question, and you're going to kill me for this. You're not going to like this one. Remember this Two of Swords? Needing to make a decision on blind faith? Here's the answer to your yes/no question. This is the sign. And it's not giving you a positive yes or a positive no, one way or the other. This is your sign. I mean, some people take this as an affirmation that this is your sign. Go for it. And others don't. It really has to do with what were you feeling in your body as this option was presented to you. All right. Thank you so much for being here. I hope that you will allow me the honor of doing your next reading at the beginning of June.